Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Miguel Mendez, Marketing Specialist here at Unravel Data. And before we get started, there are three housekeeping reminders that I would like to cover. The first is, throughout the webinar, please drop your questions into the question box, and we'll do our best to answer them live or respond via email if we're short on time. If you submit one of the top 10 questions during this event as ranked by one of our fantastic panelists, you'll earn some cool Unravel swag. Additionally, this webinar will be available instantly on demand to listen to at your leisure, so feel free to pause or replay as needed. And lastly, help us improve. Share your feedback on the session by rating this webinar, and let us know if there are any other topics you'd like to hear about. All right, that covers it. So with the reminders out of the way, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Clinton Ford, VP of Product Marketing at Unravel, and I'm joined today by Prajakta Kalmegh, Product Innovation Leader at Unravel. And today we're going to share how high-volume users of Databricks can increase productivity, performance, and efficiency. We will discuss how you can accelerate time to value using AI that is purpose-built for Databricks. So here's a look at our agenda. We'll start by taking a look at some of the top challenges to achieving time to value with data analytics and AI. Next, we will review the options for data observability and FinOps. Then I will share an overview of Unravel. At that point, I will hand it over to Prajakta to share recent updates to Unravel for Databricks, share a demo, and address some of the top questions you have asked leading up to and during this event. So Mark Sear is the Director of Data Integration, AI, Machine Learning, and Analytics at Maersk, one of the world's largest logistics companies. Like many organizations moving their data workloads to the cloud, the company soon found that its cloud data costs were very rapidly rising to unacceptable levels. Data analytics are core to the business, but the cost of its cloud data workloads was simply getting too unpredictable and expensive. Cloud data expenses had to be brought under control. But Mark is not the only one facing this challenge. More than half of companies are struggling to deliver time to value. And why is that? Well, they don't have the staff. A shortage of talent means companies are not getting the full value from their data because they don't have enough skilled resources to deliver. Their skilled engineers spend too much time doing toilsome work. Data engineering and DataOps teams are bogged down in non-value-added work that does not drive business results. IDC reported that broken data pipelines are the second biggest reason why AI projects fail. Their cloud data costs are out of control. Companies can't determine a reliable ROI that makes sense because they can't manage it or forecast outcomes. They're unable to optimize data workloads. Organizations find it's difficult to get the most out of their cloud data platforms. They're unable to optimize data pipeline code to improve workload efficiency and get the lowest possible cost. So together, these are some of the biggest challenges that are holding organizations back from being able to maximize the positive impact of data for their business, fully achieve the innovation and efficiencies they need from their data. Without solving for these things, you run the risk of falling behind because data is what is driving success. And if you get behind, it's hard to catch up. So data observability and FinOps help to optimize both productivity and cost efficiency. You can boost capacity by shifting left through self-service so more engineers can participate effectively. Enable everyone to do more, no matter their skill level, and deliver more value-added work. And in terms of cost efficiency, you can give visibility and control through governance with guardrails, showback, chargeback, and budgets. You can optimize code and workloads to get the lowest possible cost. So are any of these challenges of particular interest to you and your team? And have you already started to address these challenges? Well, companies who typically buy Unravel often start with homegrown tools developed in-house and based on open source software. But these are difficult to use and require a skilled team. As they experience the need for more regular and consistent reporting, they frequently turn to built-in tooling and instrumentation from cloud service and cloud data platform providers. But these tools often lack the granularity needed for data platform showback and chargeback. Then, as their cloud data rapidly expands, they turn to third-party generalist tools, but these typically lack full stack data visibility. And as the data platform grows to support data and AI pipelines and applications, they tend to adopt purpose-built data observability tools to enable productivity, performance, and cost efficiency. So as you outline your goals and priorities related to data observability and FinOps, here are some criteria to help guide your decision. These are elements of an ideal data observability and FinOps solution. And the goal here is to describe your perfect solution. And these will later help you as you make a choice about which options make the most sense to pursue in order to achieve your desired outcomes. So taking a look at this list, would you agree that these things should be part of your ideal solution? Okay, now let's take a moment to see what Unravel does. So on the left is your cloud data platform and ecosystem. Unravel ingests telemetry from your stack, then correlates these diverse data points into self-service DataOps views and dashboards. Then Unravel's AI Insights engine provides recommendations to optimize performance, allocate costs for showback, chargeback, and provide virtual code reviews integrated into your CI/CD pipelines. Unravel enables you to create guardrails and alerts to notify your team via Slack, email, Teams, and other integrations. So it helps you avoid unpleasant surprises and deliver predictability for your business. I'm excited to share a new analyst brief written by Nancy Goring, IDC Research Director for Enterprise System Management, Observability, and AI Ops software. This brief provides context for business leaders. And for example, this brief defines the key aspects of data observability. It highlights the role of data observability in enabling AI-driven applications and services. Maersk is one of the largest logistics companies in the world, with their own airline and hundreds of warehouses globally. They saw a 70% cost efficiency improvement within 6 months of deploying Unravel's purpose-built AI to improve efficiency. Now, their 3,000 plus data engineers use AI to validate all of their code before it goes into production. Unravel is the most proven data observability and FinOps platform. We're a FinOps Foundation member, named Best Data Tool and Platform of 2023 as part of the annual Cody Awards, named to the Big Data 100 list for the 5th consecutive year, and among the inaugural group of coolest data observability companies of 2023. Named by Gartner as a sample vendor for both data observability and augmented FinOps. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Prajakta Kalmegh, Product Innovation Leader at Unravel, to share some of the new capabilities in Unravel for Databricks. Prajakta, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unravel's product update session. My name is Prajakta, and I'm working as the product innovation lead here at Unravel, leading the Databricks and AI verticals. And really excited to showcase some of the latest Unravel capabilities in boosting your Databricks workloads for productivity, performance, and efficiency. So in today's session, we will walk through some of the latest and greatest capabilities, including how Unravel has rolled out a self-service free data observability for the freemium customers, and how we use AI insights to help customers quickly troubleshoot, drive some of the actionability, surface some of the Topex actions, and help meet the SLAs for different workloads. And finally, we'll be talking about how to compare potential savings between different workloads, workspaces to simplify decisions and achieve cost efficiency. So we'll start with talking about the standard free tier and how you can sign up. We will also talk about how different payment models like pay as you go and paying in advance give you more freedom into choosing which type of compute types you want to monitor with Unravel and get started on it. We'll briefly talk about how Unravel has now supported Azure Bill integration within the cost use cases, so that many of the most loved cost use cases in Unravel can look at the Azure Bill data from the cloud provider and see a true cost value or a matching cost value in their workloads. Then we will dive deeper into Unravel's homepage insights, where we showcase how Unravel now supports actionability for everyone, for different personas, right from an executive or a FinOps practitioner who's looking to take some decisions, to a platform owner or a data engineer to a developer. And we will then look into the Job Insights page, which is a brand new offering for the job signature level details from Unravel. We'll look into how Unravel is also enhancing some of the on-demand insights to refresh insights based on your changing workloads. And we will end the session talking about Unravel Assistant, which is our Unravel LLM capability conversational Q&A agent. So talking about enabling self-service with the standard free tier. So the freemium service that comes with Unravel offers a complete observability solution end-to-end, except the insights that you get, right? For which you need to upgrade to either the pay-as-you-go plan, where you can monthly keep on paying as you use the compute types, or come up with a pay in advance plan to avail more discounts. With the standard free version, you get real-time visibility into all your clusters, which can be plugged into Unravel with our automated cluster discovery module, which kind of eases out the entry barriers into getting into Unravel, looking at what capabilities it offers for different features, for data engineering, for data insights, for workloads, and so on, and also helps you avoid the lock-in period for a longer time. So looking at, let me just switch gears here. So this is the Unravel homepage. So to sign up for a free version and look at the freemium offering, you can click here with the Get Started page. And here you can create a free account, after which you will get an email with your credentials to sign up with Unravel. And you can start exploring Unravel with the latest and greatest capabilities into forecasting spend, looking at the detailed usage for the users and different Databricks entities, understanding some of the pipeline bottlenecks and get some reports out of the box, or even look at some correlated data observability. Coming to the next segment, which is the billing. So Unravel has rolled out a new billing experience for the customers. So this is how the earlier billing experience looked like, where we show what version of the plan you are on and what does the usage look like, and more importantly, how is the flat pricing enabling you to use your credits effectively for the entire month. But with Unravel's capabilities into enabling different pricing for different compute types. For example, with the new version of Unravel's billing model, you can avail discounts of different percentages for, let's say, all-purpose compute or job compute or job light compute and so on. And all that is now visible in the Unravel billing page, where you can go select the month for which you want to check out your billing details, see a trend of the different compute billing types of what Unravel is charging, see how it reflects on the credit balance over time, right, across the month, and get a summary of what was the opening credit balance for pay-as-you-go, pay in advance customers, and then what was the credit usage for that particular month, and then what is the closing credit balance for the month that you can carry over. So this also includes details like, let's say you had purchase credits during the middle of the month, which is the case here, right? And if you do plan to explore Unravel with your standard free capabilities and then move between the plans, the standard free tier to, let's say in the middle of the month, you decide to just explore Unravel for some more time with the pay-as-you-go model, And then on the pay-as-you-go model, you get charged for what you use for that duration of the pay-as-you-go model. And then towards, let's say, the end of the month on 22nd or 23rd, you decide that I'm now ready to actually go ahead with the pay in advance plan where I would like to avail more discounts. Let's say different discount for job compute type versus an all-purpose compute type, because you know that your workloads are mostly concentrated on job compute type and so on. That's absolutely possible. And all of these details can be seen in the Unravel billing page. So the capabilities of, just trying out the observability piece with the standard free tier and then moving on to the pay-as-you-go model to explore more deeper insights and checking out all the feature capabilities, and then jumping into a more long-term commitment with pay in advance to avail better discounts is something that a lot of our customers are now availing and really loving it. The next part is about the Azure Bill integration. For this, I would love to show the changes here. So the Cost Explorer tab in Unravel, which used to showcase the trends for the DBUs, the cost, and the cluster sessions and all. So Unravel has been relying on an approach of estimating these costs based on the job usage and the time for which the jobs execute, the type of instances they use, and so on. And for the first time ever, we are now also rolling out a capability to integrate your Azure Bill with Unravel so that the cost data that you see on Unravel on any of these cost use cases, including the trends, the drill downs into different workspaces for different users, looking at their breakdown of the cost, looking at the breakdown of the workspaces, looking at the breakdown of the clusters and so on, and then analyzing, the showback use cases or setting up budgets for that matter for different entities like tags, workspaces, clusters, and all that is now possible with the Azure Bill integration, where all of these costs would be matching to the exact cost that Azure Bill shows, so that you are aware of where how much you are paying to the cloud provider and how does that look into the Unravel environment for different workloads that you have over the selected period of time, and how does that break down into enabling you with a more accurate showback and chargeback use cases. Coming back, so here on this particular screen, actionability for everyone. What we are seeing here is Unravel has been really good at providing insights on individual cluster sessions and job executions and pinpointing what have been the problems into the code level issues or the configuration issues or infrastructure issues and so on. But with this particular release, the latest product updates, we are actually bringing this actionability to every single persona, where the executives would want to take a look at, what have been the costs and savings potential over the time with Unravel, and they can select different time periods or look at a cost rating to assess the financial health of their workloads. The platform owners or data engineers can look at some of the Topex use cases to surface which jobs or clusters they want to focus their priorities on, and then apply those optimizations looking into the details. And with Unravel's CI/CD integration with the Unravel Assistant, the AI-powered code reviewer actually sits in your CI/CD pipeline. These insights can be pushed down very selectively to the developers, where the platform owners and data engineers think that these insights, if they are applied and taken care of in the developer software development lifecycle itself, it would arrest the bad apps, making the developers also conscious of what cost they are actually spending on these workloads. And in a way, with the Jira integration and ServiceNow integration that Unravel provides, it promotes more accountability into who's acting on the insights, who's ignoring them, gives more transparency into planning the release based on what kind of workloads are still pending to be optimized and so on. So having said that, the homepage insights, basically, which I'll be just showing shortly, lets you to look at the costs at a very high level on what are the spends. Lets you also seek what is the value that you can actually get from those workloads in the selected time frame with the untapped savings. You can look at the trends and identify patterns of, anomalous spends or potential savings on particular days, which can help surface some of the top actions that the teams need to take, so that those actions can, so those insights can be acted upon. And Unravel instantly gives you also a way to compare those with the untapped savings with the realized savings after applying those insights. Let's look at this in action in some way. So this is the Unravel homepage. You can go ahead and select last 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, or 90 days of data. For every selected time frame, we show you the cost rating, where the cost rating ranges from uncontrolled, poor, managed, and optimized. In the uncontrolled and poor zone, it just means that for all the insights and untapped savings that Unravel has been suggesting, there are still a lot of them that have not been acted upon, for which the teams have a huge potential to improve and take those workloads into a more optimized zone. The details of each of these, of what they imply, can be seen here in the view details. Along with the cost rating, in the latest release, we also provide a productivity rating, which is an indication of how well your teams are actually putting efforts into applying the insights that Unravel has been prioritizing for them by surfacing them at the various guided pathways within the product. A snail paced or sluggish purely means that these insights are not being prioritized or acted upon, and move from the lower zones into a lightning and accelerated zones indicates that the team are really taking an effort to apply the insight that Unravel is suggesting. The cost breakdown is shown by the different compute types. And in the untapped savings, we can see what are the potential savings that we can achieve in the selected time frame for the different compute types. Let's say for job compute, what is the range of savings one can get by optimizing based on Unravel insights? And what would be the similar savings for all-purpose compute? When you scroll down, you see the cost trend chart. This trend chart basically showcases the breakdown of different compute types, what are the costs. And on a particular day, let's say the 18th of April here, for example, it shows that 75% of the costs were spent in all-purpose compute and 24% in job compute. And the potential savings that could have been achieved on that single particular day is 24% of the overall cost spent. The KPIs of, the breakdown of clusters, sessions, jobs, runs, users is shown down below on the summary page. The Topex widget basically tab enables you to seek top 5 or top 10 of the most highly ranked clusters or jobs for different use cases of looking at, hey, give me the clusters with the most savings, or show me the jobs that are most expensive or longest running, or show me the clusters which are most underutilized, so that I can, take a look at these and connect with my appropriate teams to take action on these. For example, here, when I select most savings, we can see that some of these jobs are worth migrating from all-purpose compute to job compute. And if that migration is done as per Unravel's recommendation, for this particular cluster, you might end up getting a 25% saving and an 18% saving and so on. So there's different saving use cases. These are purely the savings for different recommendations on all-purpose compute. And these are the savings for all the recurring jobs that execute on job compute. So the top 5 and top 10 merely gives you the count on which you're comfortable. The total cost in each widget shows the cost of only those selected top 5 or top 10 based on the selection, and the untapped savings for those respectively. You can also have a more refined experience by looking at only, let's say, I want to look at only the topics for all-purpose compute. then all the Topex use cases for all-purpose compute would show up. And for job compute, all the Topex for job compute will show up. Now, from an executive or a FinOps practitioner who's looking at Unravel and seeing that the cost and productivity ratings are really low, and there's a high spend in the selected period, and still there are a lot of untapped savings that somebody has not really utilized properly, they would connect with their teams, for example, to look at the Topex widgets and seek which are the clusters, jobs, and users, and so on whom actionability is desired. And to supplement all of that decision making, the Optimize tab helps in a way where we actually show what is the total ROI in terms of, in the selected period, what is the untapped savings where the teams have not really utilized the insights yet. But we also show how many insights were actually applied and adopted, and what are the realized cost savings because of those recommendations getting implemented in that selected time frame. We also show the annualized dollar values for the corresponding KPIs here. So this widget, for example, showcases the total ROI for the most instantly realizable insights that Unravel provides, where these are more like infrastructure savings by changing the instance types that you have configured to the ones that Unravel recommends, where the annualized ROI could be obtained from two different types of insights, one for job compute and one for all-purpose compute. And the breakdown of that ROI comes from the untapped cost savings and the realized cost savings. The productivity boost basically gives you an estimate of what would be the effort required to actually manually diagnose and troubleshoot these problems without Unravel. So let's say if you had to deploy a certain number of people to actually work on these insights and diagnose the problems, not just these ones, but all the insights that Unravel provides, the productivity boost, which is actually aggregated here at the top level, gives the effort required and the hours saved by using Unravel instead of relying on manual troubleshooting. You can see a nice and clean breakdown of all the share of these insights in terms of the untapped savings that they are there to provide you. So we have migration savings, and for some of the code optimization insights, we can see down below here. Now, the another feature from showing the insights in an aggregated view is something called as a job insights with ROI, which is a new feature that we have rolled out in our latest release under the workflows tab. So let's look a little deeper into it. So under the workflows tab, you have something called as the job insights page, which is under preview at the moment. But you can also come to this insights from the optimize tab, where let's say looking at certain node right sizing insights, you want to focus on only those, then you can click here and go to the specific 24 instances of the node right sizing right from the home screen. So let's dive deeper into the job insights page. So this page comes with some filter panels where you can select like, hey, show me the jobs with a minimum cost of a certain value, or show me only those jobs which are really hard to diagnose and Unravel is actually helping me surface them. Or show me the jobs with a minimum untapped cost savings because I really want to showcase the dollar amount in savings today and act on it. Or show me the value that Unravel has provided till date on these jobs, right? Where the realized cost savings are above a certain threshold. And then the total ROI is nothing but what are the returns with the untapped and realized savings that you have gotten on the investment that you have made with Unravel. Coming back, so you can select the last 30 days, 7 days, 14 days, 90 days again from here. This page should be noted is for recurring jobs executing on job compute. So what this page does, in addition to giving the insight summary of what kind of issues happened on these jobs, recurring jobs at a signature level is, It also bucketizes them in terms of, how many of them were in failures, like, what kind of failures, count of those, how many hours of productivity boost it has given in diagnosing those, which one of them are certain types of bottlenecks which need to be addressed or moved around so that the jobs don't get stuck into resource bottlenecks in some way. Then we have inefficiencies that are more aligned with, like, some of the, let's say, partitions need to be created, or joins need to be perfected, or partitions need to be pruned, and so on, where the code changes, inefficiencies in one form or the other are actually leading to delays in the job as well as higher cost numbers. Over provisioning is a bucket where the instantly realizable savings kind of show up. So the node right sizing, which is where the instance type need to be reconfigured, because originally they were configured at a higher values of, let's say, memory or CPU or IO, so that we don't need that much for the workload that we are actually running with those instance types. They are much more beefier than needed, and we tone down them with the over provisioning insights. So the navigation here is pretty simple. If you want to go ahead with a single insight, let's say I'm on failures and I want to look at, let's say, all the driver out of memory, you select driver out of memory, and only those jobs with out of memory errors will show up here. And then you can also see what is the total ROI or untapped savings or productivity boost or the realized savings that you can get over these jobs. When you want to, let's say, reset, you click on view all. And maybe let's take this opportunity to look at one of the insights here, right? Like I want to look at only the node right sizing options. So these are some of the jobs which have a node right sizing recommendations. So not just node right sizing, but they may also have certain other inefficiencies, code inefficiencies, or some bottlenecks for some of the runs that they have faced, right? So the numbers here basically showcase for how many runs out of the total runs are we actually seeing the particular insight or recommendation. You can scroll to the right to see the total cost, untapped savings. You can sort by the untapped savings or realized cost here, or you can search for a specific job or a bottleneck into the search widget. The total ROI shows a breakdown. Let's say if you had something in, let's pick up this example, right? Like this one has a total cost, some value into untapped savings and some into realized savings. And out of the 1.43, 1.28 is actually the saving that user can get from optimizing this job. So this shows a breakdown of how much of that is an untapped saving, how much of that is a realized saving. You can click on the view runs, which takes you to the job runs tab with the specific execution instances of that particular job's runs. So this is about, like, how Unravel now helps with a guided actionability right from the home page for different personas. You dive deeper, you go into optimization opportunities, you come to the job insights page, you look at, maneuvering and navigating across different optimization opportunities. And then finally, when you land on individual optimizations, how is Unravel actually making it better for the experience that the users have with the actual insights application so that they are more consumable? So this is an example of, like, an older on-demand cost savings insight, which used to be a little verbose with a lot of text around it. Sometimes refreshing the insights on the latest data used to take a long time. And users needed to scroll down a lot for comparing, let's say, 6 different type of instances and pick one of them for the selection. So the latest revision on on-demand cost savings, part of that we actually rolled out in earlier this year for job compute, but now we have also done the same experience and look and feel and streamlined algorithms for all-purpose compute related downsizing algorithms as well. So let's say for untapped savings, we now show what is the aggregated value over the past N executions and show the recommendations for driver node and worker node separately. what is the current instance, what were the resources that were provisioned for the current instance, what is the recommended instance that Unravel is suggesting? Is it based on max savings, or is it based on the same instance type family, or is it based on something else, like, more room to grow for more predictable variable workloads and so on. And then we show what are the potential savings for if you switch from current to option 1 or option 2 and option 3 and so on. So just as an example, let's look at one of the node downsizing recommendations in Unravel. So what we have here is node downsizing. And let's say I want to look at this one particular here. So we do have other insights, but we also have a save with node downsizing recommendation. Here, the recommendation is to change the current instance of the worker node from this option. And Unravel gives 2 additional options with different savings potential, 45% and 38% respectively. Coming to almost the last segment of the discussion today, the Unravel's AI ecosystem. So before I start introducing the Unravel Assistant, which is the latest LLM conversational agent that we have rolled out in our release, Unravel has always been really good at creating purpose-built AI for the different insights that we generate. The telemetry analysis, looking at different data sources, combining the insights from the logs and the events that are happening, and correlating all of that with the code level execution, the pipeline problems, and doing a very thorough root cause analysis is something that we have been always doing really well. That's been one of our strengths, the purpose-built AI. With the new AI frontier that we are building at Unravel, we are investing heavily in creating a analytical data lake, which is going to be our foundational model for all AI going forward. And one of the first frontiers that we want to roll out on this foundational model with the help of the purpose-built AI is the Unravel Assistant, which sits on the paradigm of generative AI and caters to a lot of insights and cost-related use cases. So before I show you a glimpse of the Unravel Assistant, just a quick summary of what it does, right? So Unravel Assistant uses the capabilities of the text to SQL to text conversions and looks at cost and insights use cases at the very different lens on how the user wants to interact, what is the top things that they want to get out of Unravel without having to, find where they can look at for a particular insight, which page, aggregate on a very more customized level, not maybe at the high level or the job level and all. And maybe strike an intuitive conversation with the conversational agent where the focus of building this has been around precision, so that the relevance of the responses is not something that is a side effect of the whole generative AI, but actually something that leverages the purpose-built AI that we have created over the time and takes precision with a right degree of seriousness here in the responses that we generate. So before we end, would love to show the Unravel Assistant and its capabilities. So you can go to the App Store. And the Unravel LLM is sitting in the App Store as one of the apps that is running. Very soon it will be integrated into the mainstream product with different use cases. So let's look at some of the Unravel LLM use cases here, right? So let's say I'm a user at a high level and I don't know where to start the conversation with the LLM. So my first question is going to be, what are my top 3 most expensive workspaces? The Unravel basically runs behind the scenes. There's a data model on which it runs. It pulls up the data and it combines textual and visualization capabilities to show the user what are the three most expensive workspaces, for example, right? And the workspaces are listed by the cost of the spend. So let's say if you have also opted for integrating your Azure bill with Unravel, then these numbers is something that you can actually leverage, and the Unravel LLM actually talks with all the cost numbers that are coming from your cloud bill data as well, to help you get deeper into the cloud spend details of what Unravel is showing and what you're paying to the cloud and so on. So now we look at this, and you can also take a look at what kind of SQL was generated to actually come up with the response on the data model for the data analytical lake Unravel is building. So now this looks interesting, and I want to dive deeper into this particular workspace that has the most value here. So let's say I want to now see what are my top 5 jobs, or the top 5 most expensive jobs on Startup Post-95 workspace. So looking at this workspace, the LLM is now looking at what are the most expensive jobs, which is the similar experience you would otherwise get from going to the home screen, looking at the costliest workspaces, then going to the job insights page, and then sorting by the cost there and pulling up the details, right? Now you have details on, let's say, all of these different jobs that are consuming cost. And this job looks interesting with a total cost of so and so. And I'm really interested and intrigued to know what kind of insights do we have on job this one, right? Pulling up the details of the insights, and not just about, like, what is the category, what is the cost of neglecting the insights over the period of time, right? The selected period. But in your case, nobody acted on these insights. So the savings that you have actually realized is zero because your people are not working on this insight. And it also outlines the steps that you need to take for every insight. So this is an example of an over-provisioning one. But let's say you had a data skew one or a high IO activity and all. So all the next steps that you need to work on to apply these insights are listed in this response here. Now, as a different use case, right? Now you got a sense of how we can start with the workspace, go into users, jobs, details of it, insights, and all that. Maybe I have a very simple question of how can I save, let's say, some cost today, right? What does it say? Does Unravel Assistant have any response on saving a particular X amount of dollars requirement on a particular day? How do we help our teams prioritize on what can be done immediately so that I meet my dollar goals for that day? So the thresholds is something that you can play around with based on the usage. I just picked a number based on what we had, right? And Unravel spits out a completely detailed analysis on, how we can save the dollar X that you want to do, which jobs to prioritize, how much can it help you get, what do you exactly need to do that, what are the steps around it, and then there you go. Like, this is in this example, there's one job. In some cases, there might be 5 jobs helping you together reach that goal of whatever amount that you have mentioned here. So that is Unravel Assistant demo for you. And with that, I think I'm almost at the end of the latest capabilities that Unravel is providing. The team is really working on refining all these experiences, supporting more use cases, a better experience with chargeback and showback use cases in the upcoming releases, as well as more insights that we are going to support on our upcoming release, and would be really excited to showcase all of that pretty soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prajakta. Now let's take a few minutes to answer some of your questions that have come in for today's event. Okay, so here's a question that came in. Are cloud compute and storage costs included in Databricks units or DBUs? No, so Databricks units, also known as DBUs, are reference units of Databricks Lakehouse platform capacity, and those are used to price and compare data workloads. DBU consumption depends on the underlying compute resources and the data volume process. So cloud resources such as compute instances and cloud storage are priced separately. And you can estimate Databricks costs using the Databricks pricing calculator, and then add the estimated cloud compute and storage costs with the respective cloud pricing calculator. Okay, here's another question that has come in. Does Overwatch provide real-time reporting on my Databricks resource usage? So real-time monitoring and alerting with Databricks Overwatch requires a time series database. And so Databricks refreshes your billable usage data about every 24 hours. And AWS cost and usage reports are updated once a day in CSV format. And since Cost Explorer includes usage and costs of other services, you should tag your Databricks resources, and you may even consider creating custom tags to get granular reporting on your Databricks cluster resource usage. Similar tools are available on the Azure side, and Unravel simplifies this process for Databricks to provide full cost observability, budgeting, forecasting, and optimization in near real time. Unravel for Databricks includes granular details about the user, the team, the data workload, the usage type, the data job, the data application, as well as compute and storage resources consumed to run each data application. Okay, here's another question. How can my team get started with Unravel? Well, getting started is easy. You can request a free Databricks health check to speak with one of our data experts, and they will guide you through Unravel's insights and recommendations to help you prioritize the areas of your data estate that matter most to you. Okay, here's another question that came in. Will you have access to my data? How do you handle security? So Unravel is SOC 2 Type 2 compliant and only processes Databricks telemetry. So Unravel does not access your data and treats all telemetry with the highest degree of security. So if you would like more information, please feel free to reply to the email invitation to this event so we can share a link to our Unravel data security details, and we can arrange a conversation with one of our data experts. Well, great questions. And if we did not get to your question in the chat, we'll respond via email following this event, and I'd be happy to take additional questions if you have those. So are you ready now to see how much more performance, productivity, and efficiency you can achieve with Databricks and Unravel? Well, you can request a free health check at unraveldata.com/health-check-demo. And our team will provide an in-depth analysis to help you prioritize your next steps. Thank you so much for joining us today.